do a sound check. Okay, sound is on. And let's see. All right, let me see if this will turn over. Well, it's not cooperating. I should have made some of these ahead of time. Sometimes this happens, and that's why I have my ways of doing things. I'm surprised that Rose isn't on here yet. So let's see, guest. Oh. All right, well, I'm not sure what's happening. I thought she would just come on here. I haven't done too many of these interviews, obviously. So I'm waiting for her to hop on to the live. And in the meantime, I've got some of my own mung bean egg that's not going very well. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to come now. And, oh, here, let me check something. All right. Okay, I got the comments on, and my mung bean egg is on here, and I'm waiting for notification from my guest, but I don't see it. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to flip over this mung bean egg, and this happens. This is why I tell you the first one is usually a failure. Oh, here it comes finally, because they tend to, no matter what pan you use, and here it's finally turned over. Okay, so let's see if she's come on here. Nope, I don't see it. Well, anyway, those of you who have made the mung bean omelet, can you say so in the comments? I want to see if anybody here that's watching has ever made this. Sherry Adams is on. Yeah, I had to turn my microphone on. Sorry about that. So then what you do is after you've made your little omelet is then you just flip it over and then turn it into a little, I like to fold it like that. And then when you eat it, it has kind of this, egg-like taste and consistency. So it's good. I'm going to wipe this off. And maybe she'll come back on here in a second. Now what I'm doing, this is not something I usually do, but only for this recipe I lightly spray it, or you could use oil it. I don't usually keep oil around, but just for this recipe I have sprayed my pan and then I wipe all of it off. For whatever reason, I found that if I don't do that, the egg will stick. Okay, love the mung bean omelets, MS. Let me see if my guest is waiting. Oh, here, I see add guest 1, but she's not there. So I don't know. No, sorry, this is not right. Let me take those off of there. Take off. Take off. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened. It's worked before, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to make a couple more of these. Those of you who have not made this before, let me turn the comments on. If you've never made these before, and it's kind of thick, so I think I'm going to dilute it just a tiny bit. Put a little bit of water in it. Not much. No, I don't like the way that looks. Here we go. I just needed a cup. So you don't want it to be too thick, But you don't want it to be too thin, so there's a fine line. Okay, let me make sure. And then you want to make sure your pan is hot before you add it. So if you haven't made these, understand a couple things. Depending on the kind of pan you're using, if you're using a good heavy-duty non-stick pan, maybe you don't have to worry about it. It'll work every time. I've got these really good quality hex-clad pans, and they're supposed to be completely non-stick. But for whatever reason, I think it's because it's such a liquid recipe, you have to hear the sizzle. You really want to hear the sizzle. And then you want to spread it around. And if it's too hot, turn it down because you don't want it to cook too fast. So turn it down, and then we won't put the lid back on. And then always make sure you mix up your mung bean egg mixture before you use it, because it will start settling. And once it starts to settle, then you know it won't come together as well. And then don't worry about trying to flip it until it's nice and it will come loose. And how I test it is I pick up the edges, and see, this is a lot better since I did the first one. There was just something about the first one. And then you kind of go around the edges, and some of the edges still don't want to cooperate. So I'm going to just let it go. Don't be in a big hurry, because if you get in a big hurry, then it won't work. Okay, I'm still looking for my guest. And it should show a little thing where she requests to join, but she's not coming on. So we'll just have to reschedule. It's not a big deal. And then we'll see if this is ready. So she has some kind of recipe. Her name is Rose Lopiano, and hopefully she'll come on later and do it, where she takes chickpea flour and she cooks it with some other stuff in a mug, I think in the microwave. And it's supposed to taste like an egg. So, and what I have here that works really well, this is a fish spatula. And it has a really thin metal edge, and that tends to lift up the edges really well. I've also tried making these in a silicone pan and a special, like an omelet pan, and that worked out really good, but I prefer it to be thin instead of thick. In fact, I'm going to go get this other pan I have. And this pan was totally non-stick. It didn't require any help. So I ordered this. It's in my Amazon store. It's in the mung bean egg omelet section. But I used this, and it made these little egg rounds. And they didn't stick, and I didn't have to put anything in there. So you can always order that. Okay, now it's coming around. The edges are loosened up. So now I can turn it over. And what I find is after about 3 times, I'm doing the thing. Wait a second. Oops. Copy link. I'm going to get the comments back up here. After about the 3rd time, the next ones will come out well. So then I turned it over, and then I turn it into the little things. And so what I like to do is I like to freeze these little triangles of the mung bean egg, because then when I want to make something like a breakfast sandwich or whatever, I can just take one out of the freezer. That one has a little torn piece. It's hot. And it should be, I'll wait until it cools off enough where I can handle it. It should be pliable enough, just kind of rub this around to clean it off. You don't want to have anything in it when you make the next one. But the texture of the mung bean egg should be pliable. It's not supposed to be hard. And I made a bunch of them for practice before, I tried other people's recipes that I would modify. This one isn't quite as hot. And I would try other recipes and kind of modify them and add different seasonings and whatever. And so often, when I would make them, the taste of the omelet would be more like a pancake. It was real dry and it didn't have any kind of the right texture. So the texture I was looking for was like this, where, you feel like you're eating something that reminds you of a real omelet. It's pliable. It's not stiff like a pancake. And then when you bite into it, it has a good taste. It has I think it's the black salt and some of the other ingredients that give it a very, very appealing taste. Now it's not, it doesn't taste like eggs really, but there's just some properties about it that make it taste egg-like. So Lydia says, I don't know, I've never made this. I don't know why I've never made this. It looks so good. It's in the Plant-Based Japanese 2 ebook, and it's under Tamago mung bean egg. And for the Japanese cookbook, I made something called amu rice. And amu rice is kind of strange. Facebook and Messenger are down. Could Rose be using a Facebook feature? Maybe. I don't know, but that's kind of odd that she didn't come on. I've done this before and it worked, so I'm going to do a trial run after. So amu rice, if you made fried rice, the Japanese thing is they would take, my mother used to make this, she would take eggs, regular eggs, like, make a mixture like an omelet. Here we go. It's kind of like magic. When it's ready to loosen, the edges will loosen, but not until they're ready. If you try before they're ready to loosen, then it'll be a flop. And this one, it's ready to loosen the front half, but the back half wasn't on the burner as much, so it's still kind of sticking, so I'm not going to try to turn it. So anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, the amu rice. So what they would do is they would take fried rice, make the fried rice first, set it aside, and then they would put like an egg omelet in the skillet, like this. It's starting to come around, it's getting close. And then she would take the fried rice and put it inside on top of the egg mixture, and then she would fold it over and it would be an omelet filled with fried rice. And that's called amu rice, omelet rice. And they have that in Japanese restaurants. It's a very popular food. And in fact, the condiment they put on it is ketchup. I know, that doesn't sound very Japanese, but they'll put if you look in my picture in my ebook, it has, the lines of ketchup. And that's organic ketchup without added sugar or whatever, it's real healthy organic ketchup. Okay, so now it looks like all the sides, except over here, is being stubborn. I think it's good. You just have to really, this is a little tricky. That's why I think some people are a little afraid of it, because, it does require a little bit of patience. So now finally it turned over, so it looks fine. And then I like to cook that side very quickly. Where is the recipe? Donna, the recipe is in the Plant-Based Japanese 2 ebook, which is part of the bundle. I put the link to the bundle. The bundle is $49 for about 150 ebooks like this and courses and lots of stuff. It's worth $8,000. I'm not making that up. And I have a whole section on using this mung bean egg. And today I'm not making any of those recipes right now. I was going to come on later. I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to fold it into my little neat thing. So here's my neat little thing. So now I'm not going to make any more. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. This looks kind of messy, this cup sitting here on my board. I'm going to put a towel under it. I hate messy cutting boards. So anyway, if you haven't purchased the bundle, it's only going to be out for about 5 more days. So be sure and get it while it's out there, because every year there's always somebody who forgets to get it. Okay, so I have an English muffin here, and this is a Dave's 21 grain English muffin. It is not 100% oil free, so I apologize for that. But they do have Ezekiel English muffins that are oil free and other brands. I just couldn't find one. And I had these already for my husband. He eats them. I don't usually eat them that often. But oil is listed as like one of the last ingredients. I think it's very little. It's like 1 gram of fat for an English muffin, so it can't have that much in it. And like I said before this morning, I don't get caught up in little stuff. I don't worry about it. But anyway, I take the mung bean egg and I just put it on the muffin, and then sometimes I'll add one of my plant-based sausages made from oats and brown rice. Let's see, Brass Neck says hello. Good afternoon. Actually, it's morning here, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. So sometimes I put my plant-based oat and rice sausage on here, and that's on my YouTube channel, and it's also in my breakfast cookbook. And I don't have any of that right now, so I'm just going to put the egg on here. I don't use butter. I don't use any kind of spread. But if you really wanted to add more to it, you could put avocado and put some avocado, lettuce, and tomato on your sandwich to add some more flavors to it. But I tend to just do this. I just take the mung bean egg, and you can put more than one if that's not enough. You know, these things are great because, you know, a fourth of a cup is not a lot of this recipe, so you're not getting a lot. And it's made from mung beans. That's all that's in here. Mung beans and some plant milk, and I use cashew milk. So then you have this delicious breakfast sandwich, and it's 100% plant-based, but it's very portable, so you could take this with you when you go out to eat somewhere, when you go out to, you know, shop or something. If you're rushing to get out the door and you don't have a lot of time, you can just take this with you. And I've done that before because I always have these in the freezer. I keep them wrapped up individually, and then what I do is I wrap them in a paper towel and put them in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and then I turn them over and put them in for another 10, 15 seconds. Don't overcook them or they'll get rubbery. Oh, from London, England. Okay, no wonder it's a different time zone. So if you want to make the mung bean egg omelet and you just want to make it American style, just on a muffin or whatever style you call it, that's in my new ebook called Plant-Based Japanese 2. And remember, it's in the bundle, and it's listed as tamago, which is Japanese mung bean egg. And this is the exact recipe right here that I use for this. And on my YouTube channel, there's a YouTube video of me making this from start to finish. So if you want to really start from the very beginning till making it in the pan, watch that YouTube video. That YouTube video has gotten, I think it's like 50,000 views. It's got more views than any YouTube video I've ever done. Now 50,000 probably doesn't sound like much to people who are, you know, used to watching influencers and people with millions of views, but for me that was a lot. And it was because so many people want to learn how to make something that tastes like just egg, but doesn't cost what just egg costs. And just egg they come in little patties, and they come in like a carton that you can, it looks like this. And it also comes already preformed in little egg squares. Very expensive. For, I think probably now it's $6 or more. You get about 4 of these, I think, come in one box. Well, mung bean eggs that I get them, I order them online, a whole bag of the split mung dal is what it's called, on Amazon, is not very expensive. What does it taste like? Looks like a famous fast food morning sandwich. I swear it tastes like a fast food breakfast sandwich, but better because, you know, it has the texture of an egg, and it has a taste. There's something about this combination of the yellow split mung beans mixed with cashew milk is what I use, all the different seasonings that I figured out. And, you know, when you put it all together, it tastes good. Jessica asks, In your opinion, does mung bean taste better than chickpea flour? I've never had anything made from chickpea flour that I thought tasted good. Yes, 100%. I'm gonna run and get my bag of mung beans because I want you to see them. Hey, quit chewing the rug. Quit that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You gotta. You little nut. You're gonna have to come in here with me. Okay, I had to rescue the puppy. Here's the mung bean. It's like this. Be sure and get this because somebody told me that they used green mung beans, and so their omelets were this green color, and they didn't taste very good or look very good. These will turn out this egg color. And also, in answer to your question, Jessica, you hit me in the face. Mung beans taste a lot better than chickpea flour, in my opinion, because anything, Brassneck says, broccoli mom uses mung beans a lot. Nancy says, haha, dog mom. Yeah, this is my puppy, Toshi. He's going to be 4 months old, 16 weeks old Thursday, and he's gotten so big. I brought him home, he weighed 10 pounds. Now he weighs 20 something. But he was in there chewing on my Oriental rug. So no, he can't chew on that. That's a nice rug. He'll mess that up. So yeah, oh, don't burp on me. In my opinion, things made with chickpea flour have kind of a chalky taste. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't have the same richness. Because if you think about it, this is a whole bean, not a flour. So you soak the mung beans for 24 hours, and then, after mung beans, yeah, we call them, our American pronunciation is mung beans, but the Indian people that I've talked to says mung, dal, and some people I've talked to said they don't like to call it omelet, they call it more of like a crepe. So, bless him, he's getting heavy. I'm gonna have to put him down in a minute, but look over here, honey. He's my little baby. I love him. Okay, you get down now. He's a really good dog. I'm gonna wash my hands because I'm gonna handle my food again. So, you soak these mung beans and then you add all the seasonings that are in my recipe, and then you blend them in your high-speed blender. I have a Vitamix blender. So once they're blended in the blender, they turn into this really nice, they turn into this really nice, and this is the consistency you want. It's kind of liquid. It's not thick, but it's not thin either. Drop my whisk. So that's what you want. You don't want it to be too thick. You don't want it to be too thin. And then there's a freshness to it because it's made from the blended up fresh beans. It's not made from a flour. So there's always a difference. Something made from a flour is not going to taste the same as something made from a fresh ingredient. So I think that's why that chickpea flour thing is not exactly the same. It's good, but it's not the same. I did have a chickpea omelet in Mexico with my friend, and the chef told me that it was chickpea flour and some plant milk, and it was good. Have you tried soaking these less than 24 hours? Yes, in fact. What have you got? He was eating a dead flower stem. I soaked these last night, probably around 8 o'clock. So they haven't been soaking for 24 hours. They've just been soaking overnight. So I think you can just do it overnight. 24 hours is like ideal. So yeah, compared to chickpeas, chalk is a good description of chickpea flour. Yeah, compared to chickpeas, I think this is actually better, but chickpea flour stuff is quicker. Oh, and this morning, if you missed my first live stream, I made a tofu egg salad sandwich. And this is actually really good. This is taking tofu and black salt and making it into like the equivalent of an egg salad. And I was really shocked at how delicious this is and how good this would be especially on a sandwich on the go, but also in a little potato, like a little new potato that you kind of hollow out and then stuff with this egg salad. So if you want to know about that, watch the first live that I did this morning, and I made that. It's still here because I just got through doing that. But for this one, get the bundle. It's going to be on for just a few more days. And, these recipes for the mung bean egg and different things I'm making. Is Jiro outside? I thought I spotted him over your shoulder. Yes, Cammy and Jiro are out in the yard. So if you're looking back here in my yard, you might see those two running by. They're out. It's a beautiful day here. So they're out there playing. And I don't leave the puppy out there. I'm pressing the tofu as we speak, Jessica says. Yeah, I don't leave the puppy out with the big dogs right now because they're a lot more rambunctious than he is, and they'll smash him, especially Cammy, the female. She's kind of crazy. She'll do this to the male. She'll chase him around till he's exhausted, and then she'll kind of jump on him, and we have to kind of sometimes. Oh, hey, oh my goodness, Toshi. Oh my gosh, he knocked over. Well, that was kind of crazy. I've got to put you up. All right, here I am. What the heck? Oh, wrong way. No wonder. I got it. Sorry, everybody. Well, that was a little crazy. Oh, sorry, everybody. The puppy knocked over a light, which knocked over my camera. So hopefully I'm still on here. Okay. MS, add to the broadcast. Okay, so anyway, you guys, that was crazy. I've got to end this so I can get this crazy. Come here, crazy. If I'm not holding him, he's getting into mischief. My husband is not here right now. He's usually here watching the puppy when I'm doing stuff like this, and he had to step out. So, he's at an age where he's like a toddler. He really is. If I leave him running around, he's going to carve out a path of destruction. So I have to kind of keep an eye on him, and I usually have him on a leash with me or whatever. But anyway, he is going to get put up here in a minute. He has a playpen still, and he's not tried to climb out of it. But any day now he's going to figure out how to climb out of his little puppy playpen. Okay, so if you love boxers, we still see you. Yeah, I had a moment there where the thing was not working. Anyway, of all the things that I make, I think the most popular thing, and I don't know why, is this mung bean egg sandwich. So I'm going to eat this. It's so good. I'm going to eat it for my breakfast. I'm not going to eat it right now because I want to wash my hands because of this guy. But I'm going to have that for my breakfast today. And then for my lunch, I'm having the tofu sandwich, which I think is good. I'll probably just eat half of it. I have so much food around here, it's crazy because I've been doing these live streams every day, making stuff because of the crazy bundle. So, I'll come on live every day for the next 5 days. That's just something we're supposed to do if we're involved in the bundle, to let people know about it. And also because I'm trying to share, he loves his mommy. He sure does. Oh. And he's so heavy. I'm glad that I lift weights. Is that a rescue dog? No, he's not a rescue dog. I have had some boxers that were sort of rescue dogs that people had tried to give away on Craigslist and got returned. And then I had one who they didn't want him anymore, so we got him. But this Toshi is from a friend of mine who is a nationally known boxer, breeder of merit, not a backyard breeder. And so that's where all my dogs came from. And, you know I would like to rescue dogs. At the same time, it's heartbreaking when dogs die too young because they have heart disease and different things. So, you know, these dogs have been medically tested, so hopefully they won't have an early and painful death. Let's see, Kathy says, that's what I love when these bundles come out, is each contributor identifies their most popular. Sometimes there's so many to try, you don't know where to start. Okay, well, I'm glad you said that, Kathy, because one of the posts I was going to make today is going to be my top 10 out of my ebook. And then I'm going to do a post called my top 10 different things in the bundle. Because that's what I did for myself. I was like, okay, what out of this bundle am I really going to go back and look at again that I like? And Broccoli Mum was one of them that I liked. So I'm going to go back and look at stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and post my link again down here at the bottom. It's hard to do this holding a dog. Man, I need to work out some more, Toshi. In fact, I have a workout today. So, bye from Toshi. And there's the link to the bundle. Oh, I know. You like the taste of my lotion. There's the link for the bundle. And I've got a lot of cooking to do, which is not easy when you have a little puppy around. Believe me, it's been, quit looking at me. It's been kind of hard to get this all together, to keep up with it. So, but I'm not complaining because I love my dogs. They're wonderful. Eventually they get to be great dog citizens in the house. So it just takes time. So I'll see you all later today, tomorrow, I'm not sure. I'll probably do some reels or something today. I'm going to make the amu rice. Remember to make your mung bean egg omelet. You don't have to make it Japanese style. You can just make it like this using the recipe in the plant-based Japanese too. But then you can also use it to make the Japanese stuff. And oh, one of the good uses for it is, I'm going to wash my hands so I can show you. Don't do anything while I'm doing this. I mean it. Don't do anything. Come over here. Come over here and see me. I bet you could eat a mung bean egg. I bet you could eat a bite. Here, eat that. No, he didn't. He didn't eat it. Okay, so for a sushi roll, what's really good is to make a sushi roll and to put this mung bean egg in your sushi roll, because, you know, in sushi restaurants, there is something called tamago, and you can even make pieces of this and set it on top of sushi rice. Okay, that's kind of like a tamagoyaki is something you get in Japanese sushi restaurants. And I made this when I was doing my ebook, and I would put this on top of rice and eat it. It tastes really good. So that's another use for your mung bean egg. But my favorite thing is to keep these in the freezer, make a little sandwich, wrap it up, take it on my way to the airport or to the grocery store. And when I'm eating it, I'm thinking, man, this is so good. This is like something I could never get in a restaurant, because all theirs is got tons of, you know, it's made out of eggs. And then if you get just egg, it's got a lot of oil in it. It really does. Like, I think in just egg, the third ingredient down is canola oil. So I don't want to use that. Okay, everybody. Kathy says, if you had a bag of mung beans, but they're not yellow, would it taste the same? Kathy, I don't know, but you need, if you're going to make this recipe, you need to get these. They're organic Mung dal. They're yellow. They are not green. So be sure and get these if you're going to make this, because I've never made this with anything else, so I can't tell you if it's good or not. All right, everybody. Order the bundle if you haven't, and I will be coming back on. Look at this. This is, my screen's got something in the way. What a crazy thing with my dog. I'm going to have to get a puppy sitter to come over when I film next time. Okay, bye everybody. And thank you so much to those of you who have already purchased the bundle and are making things from it. I'll try to narrow it down to my favorite things to make it even easier. Bye-bye.